Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Are we live? Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. We appreciate your willingness to join us, and thank you for uh, accepting our delay. We've had some technical issues, and we have learned that one monkey don't stop no show. We're Savannah Strong, and we keep it moving. Um, so we're glad to have our media partners here today. And if you have a question, put it um, into the chat in Facebook or Instagram at Mayor Johnson SAV or City of Savannah, and I'll get to that after our media partners. So first of all, let's talk budget. Yesterday was the continuation of our budget process. Every year we have a bunch of different ways that we fund the services that Savannahans rely on every single day. And really, how do we collect that money and how do we spend that money? How we create opportunities to invest and reinvest back in our communities and neighborhoods is really what our budget is all about. It's a moral document. It talks about the things that are important to us. It talks about the ways that we invest in the things that are important to us. The reality is the things that are important to us is where the money should be able to go. And unlike Congress, remember, we have to pass a balanced budget by the end of the year. And so we work very hard to be able to do that, and we will be able to do that. We don't get to spend money that we don't have. And honestly, for all of us, I think that's a good thing. And so this year was a little different. We created more ways for our citizens to be engaged. We've opened the doors. We pulled up the chairs. We lay everything out on the table. We have no secrets here. The budget is not a big, mysterious thing that we do, but it's something that has some guardrails and has some rules. But we've invited our residents to sit with us and really learn about how we spend your money. And so yesterday we kicked off our annual budget retreat. And if you tuned in, like many of our residents did, you saw our city council engaged with city staff. The budget is actually the culmination of a marriage annually between city staff, city council, and our residents. The residents tell council the things they want to see. The council tells staff what we want to see. The staff, from their vantage point, tells us about the things they want to see. And then ultimately, we mix it all together, and ultimately it comes up with a budget that your city council approves. This year, it was a little bit different. We have a Savannah GPS plan that will inform our budget. Citizens informed it. Council approved it. It is now our strategic plan, and now we have to fund the things that you told us were really, really important. So this helps us determine not only where we're going, but how we're getting there. So two quick things: the proposed FY26 budget and our capital improvement plan documents are online at savannahga.gov/budget, savannahga.gov/budget. And we've posted all of our retreat information. All the information is there, all 8, 9 hours of it. The meeting times and dates are all there. It's all on our website, and we'll have upcoming opportunities as well to deal with that. So now let's talk about something that our District 4 folks certainly want to hear about. And so tonight we have a town hall meeting tonight hosted by District 4 Alderman Nick Palumbo at 6 p.m. at the Jenkins High School, and the focus of this is Project Duran. And so if you drive Duran, as I've done this morning, you already know why Project Duran matters. It's one of the busiest corridors in our entire city. And this project is really about making it safer and making it smoother and ready for the Savannah of tomorrow. This project started back in 2008, and I remember because I was there, and we've been at this for quite a while. And it's a little difficult because it consists of 4 major components, mostly led by the Georgia Department of Transportation, the city, but then also the federal government is involved as well because of Hunter Army Airfield. So we're currently in what's called phase 3. based on a council resolution from 2010. So if you want the full story, you can go to savannahga.gov/Project Durin, savannahga.gov/Project Durin. Again, the town hall meeting is tonight, November the 18th, from 6 to 7 o'clock at Jenkins High School cafeteria. Also, we want to know more what's going on and things that you want to know about. Something very important to our city and our history. In this December, our municipal archives team will begin additional research in Whitfield Square as we prepare to install a historic marker. And let me tell you why this matters. From the late 1700s to the mid 1800s, Whitfield Square and the surrounding areas served as a burial ground for formerly enslaved and free people of color. It was closed in 1844 because it was overcrowded, and a new burial ground was created further south. In 1855, the city authorized the relocation of these remains from that newer site. And so what we don't know is whether the remains in and around Whitfield Square were ever moved. And as a council, as a city of really tackling the hard things, this is a question we intend to answer. So from December the 1st through December the 17th, we will be conducting a ground penetrating radar survey, basically an archaeological scan to identify whether there are unmarked graves, unmarked burial sites that are still present. Some of the work in the square might be roped off for safety while the work is being done. The survey will be handled by the Lamar Institute, who has done this kind of work all across Georgia, including here in Savannah. We expect a full analysis and report in 2026, 2026, which will guide how we honor and commemorate this sacred site moving forward. Also, can you believe Thanksgiving is like here? A week from the day after tomorrow, we will be around the table in our annual expression of gratitude and thanks. And so we are starting our holiday festivities. For Team Savannah, their hardworking team, we want them to be with their friends and loved ones. So our administrative offices will be closed on Thursday, November the 27th, and on Friday, November the 28th. Our emergency services, as they always do, will remain open and active. Sanitation schedules will change. There'll be no garbage, recycling, or yard waste pickup on Thanksgiving Day. Everything shifts by one day, so Thursday's routes will be now collected on Friday. Dean Forest Landfill and Bacon Park Transfer Station will also be closed on Thursday, with normal hours returning on Friday. So we plan ahead, Savannah. Enjoy your holiday. And of course, on next Friday, we will light our holiday tree. That's Friday, November the 28th. Always a great time. I understand that Santa is coming to Savannah. He will be here at 5 p.m. And after the mayor has his picture with Santa, the rest of y'all can have y'all picture. I have a bunch of stuff that Santa and I have to have a conversation about. But at 5:30 is the big moment. I will be honored again to light the tree at Bull and Broughton. It's a great opportunity. People from all over our community comes. Bring your family, get to know your neighbors. Let's kick off the season together. It's certainly one of my most favorite traditions. And finally, I have folks out there that we don't want in our streets. And so we've been very good at finding individuals who make our top 10 most wanted list. As a matter of fact, out of the 100 we have profiled, we have arrested 84 of them. And so that is due to great police work, but mostly due to the great tips that citizens continue to give us. If you hear your name, lawyer up, come see us. You can call us directly at 525-3124, 912-525-3124. Or you can submit an anonymous tip on our SPD mobile app. Or you can call my office. You know, I always like to talk to you, 912-651-6444. If your name is on this list, call me. I want to talk to you. Holler at me. Let's talk about how you can begin your tomorrow by doing the right thing today. Just want to make sure you know that. Our top 10 on our list remain unchanged. Corey Underwood for aggravated assault, Avery Samuels for burglary, Rictavius Gilliard for aggravated assault and stalking, Javante Pringles for aggravated assault, Ela Nexi Castillo for battery, Timothy Patterson for rape and aggravated assault, Angelo Wolf for possession of a firearm, and Malik Williams for aggravated battery. Again, David Warren and Victor Kaysen were both arrested 2 weeks ago. So do your part to protect our community, turn yourself in, just make it easier for everybody. So you can see the full list, as always, at savannahpd.org /most wanted, savannahpd.org. So that wraps up my prepared comments. A little bit short this week. We'll be a little shorter next week. But I'll take any questions from our media partners that are in the room. And then if we have any questions in the chat, I'll be glad to answer those. So good morning. Yes, ma'am.
There is a growing debate at the state level about eliminating Georgia's personal income tax. Supporters say it could boost competitiveness, could be a financial boost, especially during a difficult time many people are experiencing. Opponents say it could shift the burden to sales or property taxes. From Savannah's perspective, do you have concerns or expectations about how a change like this could affect residents or even the city itself?
Yeah, we always have concerns. Obviously, any shift, the money has to come from somewhere. So if you eliminate one type of tax, then you still have to fund the things you have to fund, and things are not getting cheaper, and people want more things. So I'll leave the state to the state, but certainly ask that our legislative delegation that serves us so well in Atlanta will hopefully communicate with us to really talk about how this impacts Savannahans. I would want them to base their vote on this community. Obviously, if you get rid of that property tax, that personal tax, which in theory sounds really, really good, but then you have to replace it another way. And so for us, the concern would be, we don't want to have to shift that. We have done, I think, a great job of keeping our property taxes the lowest they've been since 1987. So I would just ask that they don't rush to judgment. Certainly ask us, and we'll certainly pull up various scenarios to see how people will be affected.
And my last question, now that the federal government has reopened, do you have a message to residents, or looking back at what the city has done for residents, do you have any reaction?
Yeah, I'm glad it is reopened, but it did not solve the issue. We don't have a balanced budget for Congress. First problem. Second problem, we still have not dealt with the issue of health care and the American Care Act premiums. We might very well find ourselves back in this situation in January, which to me does not make sense. However, locally, we will still continue to feel the impact for weeks. Your mortgage doesn't care. Your house note doesn't care. Your rent doesn't care. Your car doesn't care. There are people who had to borrow money to pay their bills. And the fact is, you still have interest from paying those bills. And we have some folks who still have not received their money. I found out from our friends at TSA that they were heralding the $10,000 bonus, but the $10,000 bonus, as I understand it, was only those who did not miss any days from work and you were not late at all, which now takes the big amount of employees because people would, they're coming in late, they're trying to find ways of childcare and things. So, I think that was much to do about not a lot. Um, the city of Savannah stepped up in a big way, as we should. Beyond working with our partners at United Way and Second Harvest, beyond 1,000 food boxes that we gave out with the county, beyond the additional 1,400 boxes of food that we gave out in our 6 districts over last week. We're going to stand with our folks. We're going to stand up for our folks. We're going to go hard in the paint for our folks. But the fact is, we're not built, we're not constructed for this type of service. And so I just think, again, Congress has to get it together. I think that we can do both. I think we can be able to have a balanced budget and protect healthcare premiums. Because if you have the money and you don't have the healthcare, you're losing. If you have the healthcare and don't have the money, you're losing. I think people can have both. Thank you. Anything?
We got one. Someone asked, do you have any information or updates on the city bus system?
Yeah. Now that I got a very disturbing letter last week that was forwarded to me. That was forwarded to Chatham Area Transit. That the county of Chatham had decided to eliminate CAT bus, their investment in CAT bus service through effective in June 2026. This took us totally and absolutely by surprise. We didn't expect it. I mean, it just came out of nowhere. Chatham Area Transit is an authority created by the state, but they receive federal funds. And because they receive federal funds, they are mandated to provide those services. And obviously, since they provide them countywide, the county would be the natural entity because they collect countywide funds to be able to address those issues. I don't know what's going on with that. Whatever it is, whatever the beef is that Chatham County has with CAT, they have to fix it. They have to work it out. Public transportation is so vitally important to thousands of our residents, particularly here in the city of Savannah. Public transportation is how we restore independence and dignity to our citizens. It's how they get to their dialysis appointments, how they get to doctor's appointments, how they get to work, how they get to school, how they get to handle their own business. My mother in New York has never had a driver's license. She relies on New York MTA to get where she needs to go. And so I'm concerned about the mothers and the fathers and the grandmothers and the sons and the daughters who don't have the ability to have a car. Again, this has been an ongoing saga of some issue that Chatham County has with Chatham Area Transit or with our state delegation. The reality is we just need to get this worked out. Our community cannot and will not stand for the discontinuation of the county's investment in CAT. Beyond that, I have not seen, our staff has not seen any formal action that the county has taken, any public action. Obviously, the decision to take that action has to be done in the public space, and we have not seen any indication whatsoever through public notices or public meeting that Chatham County has taken this action. So I'm not sure about the genesis of the letter from the chairman. Again, CAT has to fight that fight, but I'm going to fight for public transportation. I'm going to fight for full investment of public transportation. Public transportation is important. Right? All right. Well, thank you all so much for being with us. Thank you for being who you are. Beautiful day in the world's greatest city, and we want you to get out and enjoy it and get ready for the holidays as they come up. So God bless you all. Thank you so much for being Savannah Strong.